Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take out this expansion card. And by taking out the expansion card, we're going to unscrew this plate. And then, as you're able to see, we have one more screw over here that's holding in the card. There's going to be a little latch, and now this one happens to be, alright, so where the card ends right here, there would be a little latch that would help release the card from actually popping up. So in this one, it happens to be broken. So what you want to do is actually move this out of the way so you're able to actually wiggle the card out, and then you're able to remove the card. Alright, so now pretty much everything is disconnected from the actual board itself, and what you're able to see then is inside the case we have a couple screws that are holding it in place. So from the looks of it, there's actually 6 screws that are holding this motherboard in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew these particular screws, and then we're able to pull out the motherboard. There's no need to take off the processor or the memory. That's not required. So let's go ahead and undo these screws here. You're going to be careful and not to drop the screws inside on the motherboard. Once you have all the screws, then you're able to pull out the motherboard ever so gently out of the case, and then we have our board. And then what we'll do is we'll take this and we'll install it on the OpenAir system right away. Alright, so on the OpenAir system, what we're going to do is, you notice that we have the front connectors here, and we have this opening. Now, what we can also do, you notice that when we put this in here, everything lines up. Every motherboard that you purchase will also have a plate. So what we're able to do is actually pop this plate out, and before we install the board, put this plate in here. So it matches up in terms of the connectors. Now when we install the board, we've had our correct placement of the little riser bolts. We're able to put this and place it right on there, nice and easy. If the motherboard does not go in there easy, this might not be set in place properly. To make sure everything is all set in place, and then we're able to put this component in, motherboard in. Now, as you're putting the board in, one thing you want to make sure is that these tabs here, so we get these tabs, are going to be on top of some of these connectors. So you may want to kind of lift it up and scoot that in there. Again, you want to make sure that when you install the board, that these little things are above. So you may have to lift the board up a little bit so you're able to put these things so they're right underneath it, so they sit properly. You're going to take the little smaller mushroom cap screws, you're going to line it up with the post mounts. You may have to press the motherboard just a little bit to make things aligned, and then insert the screw, and you may have to push the board just a bit. You don't want to tighten them up yet, you just want to get them in there enough so the screw doesn't fall out, so we're able to align the rest of the board and to get all the other screws inside the posts. And once you have all 6 of them in, then you could go back and tighten them all up. Alright, so once that's in, we're able to see that we have